Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening.
Oh, are we live? Are we live? I'm playing with myself.
Whatever. What? Not starting that way tonight. Well, if you saw my ugly mug, welcome to this edition of the XFL Show Tuesday night edition, special edition on deck. A-Train Arlington Lane. That doofus next to me is the one and only my established co-host.
Yeah, baby!
That is dirty.
It is the one. Hey, look what I'm rocking tonight.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me do this. I gotta turn this down just a tad. Can you still hear me, Arlington?
Yes.
Can you still hear me?
Uh-huh.
Look, I'm rocking my underdog of training. Eric Hansen, the great Eric Hansen of the St. Louis Battlehawks. This is his organization that he does here in the St. Louis area. So I'm rocking my underdog training shirt.
Yes.
Tonight on the show, special edition. Yeah.
Yeah,
baby.
We got some things to talk about tonight.
We do?
First off.
Let's first off.
We got to give congratulations. I need my applause to one and only LaCoby Tucker. I need my applause. Yeah, you might be able to say that. Congratulations on order to LaCoby Tucker. He just signed a contract with the Atlanta Falcons. Very, very ecstatic about that, man. I was like thrilled that he is now a member of the.
I have a new football team.
Exactly, man. And this is.
Hold on.
Somebody can hear that.
Yes, they can. My new football team is the Atlanta Falcons this year. That's who I'm riding or dying with tonight, this year. Until they get rid of, if they cut LaCoby Tucker, then I'm not. But right now, I am riding or dying with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm a dirty bird. I'm a dirty bird. I'm a dirty bird. I'm a dirty bird. No, it's not the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings suck. Worst team in all of football is the.
Did you just mute yourself? For real?
Oh, I did, didn't I? I did. Can you hear me?
You really did this time.
I did, bro. I really did. Look, we have a special guest. Our special guest is here.
Yes, our special guest has arrived from before we bring him on. We got some things we got to do before we bring him on, man.
We do? Also, what do we got to do?
Boom! Right here.
Ah!
Don't forget, folks, B-Hawk Live is Autism Speaks Fan Appreciation Night, September 9th. You can read the flyer as you can see it.
And if you can't read the flyer, you're an idiot.
Hey, trust me, it's on the page. You can do it. It's on
the page.
Hey, it's from 6 to 10 at Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company, September 9th. Tickets are $10. All right? Trey Watson.
Well, now hold on, Arlington. Let's explain what that $10 gets you. That $10 gets you a commemorative glass right?
Oh, no! Don't be all cool with it now. You might as well say how you've been saying it for a long.
Oh, it gives you a commemorative glass. You know, you get your first beer free, and you get to we are unveiling the official B-Hawk Live a limited edition beer can September 9th. All the money that we raise is going to go, proceeds of the money that we raise is going to go to Autism Speaks. As you see right there, portions of the money goes to Autism Speaks. We're going to have the X-Fan Legion will be there. B-Hog Live will be there. We're going to have raffles, giveaways, and all that. Trey Watson is showing up. Go right there. Go up at the top. Scan that QR code. It is sending you to Eventbrite and all of something. B-Hog 1 says, I might have something for you guys that night. So see, there you go. So, yeah, it's going to be a great event. Please come out. And the thing is, Arlington, are you ready? I love making dumb bets, right?
You make them all the time.
I do. I make them all the time. If we can get 200, if we sell 200 tickets, I shave the beautiful locks that Dirty has had for 4 years.
Oh, my God.
Look, Arlington, I shave it. I shave it, Arlington. I shave it. I shave the beautiful locks that I've had for 4 years.
I see this before I head there, and then he's got to have it at the event. He's got to have it.
Yes, we will shave my head at the event.
No, not at the event.
Why not?
You got to have it before the event.
That's if we sell 200 tickets, then maybe. But I will shave it at the event. See,
get the Clippers ready because we might have to do it at the event, and the hyena is shaving. I would not put that past anyone. Speaking of the hyena, I'm glad that she came in and chimed in. Her and Daddy Ed will be on the Fang Gang Nation show this Thursday.
Please do not tune into that. It will burn your eardrums out. With the hyena on, at least mute the hyena, turn the hyena down when she talks. Listen to Daddy Ed, just don't listen to the hyena. That's all I have to say about that.
She and Daddy Ed will be on the Fang Gang Nation show this Thursday. It says 2 p.m. Pacific, but for the Simpletons, that's 4 p.m. in the Central. That means you, Dirty. The Simpletons like yourself, 4 p.m. on Thursday. And so, yeah, she'll be doing back-to-back appearances on, doing B-Hawk Live, and then she jumps on Fang Gang Thursday.
I mean, Arlington, I might be around for that Thursday event. You never know. You never know, right?
Shout out to Jersey the King.
See, look right here, John. John says it right here. I'm not watching her voice. Her voice burns my ears. You're right, John. Her voice does burn a lot of ears. A lot of ears. Oh. So yeah, are we bringing our special guest in finally? Poor guy sitting there. He's way more professional than I am. Yeah, way more professional.
Without a doubt. Ladies and gentlemen from the Player 54 podcast. Plus, he has a special announcement for the people tonight. So I'm going to make sure that he gets a chance to do that before he leaves. We're going to have some great discussion tonight. From Player 54 podcast, the one and only Mr. Michael Lathrop. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
Boy, look at the studio he's got going.
Yeah, I love it. I love what he has in the background, man. What's all of that back there?
A lot of jerseys. 1.0, 2.0. I haven't got a chance to add any 3.0 jerseys yet, but hey, there's I believe a Hitman helmet back there, and obviously that old school XFL flag. Yeah, there's a couple things.
I see the Player 54 is very small, but it's right there next to you. I like it.
Yeah, I had to squeeze that in there. I'm glad you noticed it. Just, one of those little hidden gems, hopefully, back there. Yeah.
Look at you. Michael's really. I gotta really change up my my studio. See, I mean, look right here. It says Ridge Rocker says, "See, Dirty. That's what the pros look like." Yeah, I can see that. So, yeah, I might have to start changing my stuff up a little.
Well, it's the benefit of moving from Northport, Florida to Punta Gorda, Florida. I have a bigger space for studio, so I had to get a little bit more creative. There was things I had on hand that I didn't get to display, so we'll see how it progresses as time moves on here.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Look at you. Look, everybody's all excited that Michael Lathrop's in the building.
Well, I'm glad to be here. It's always a pleasure.
Well, I mean, Mike, at least you can finally bring some class to this show. I mean, I'm classless. Arlington has a little bit of class, but you have a lot of class.
I have a little bit of class. Oh, okay. That's what
just a little, bro, just a little.
Well, I'm glad you think highly of me. I'm sure there's some people out there that don't think so.
Well, Michael, I didn't say I thought highly of you. I just said you had a lot of class. That's all that was, buddy.
Thank you. Well, thank you for knocking me down a couple more pegs to bring me back to reality.
So, wait, you see who the mean one is, right? So,
look,
it's all good.
Look, see, Sandy says hi. The hyena says real class, bro. I mean, look.
And we got a person that's so dumb and can't read, but yet here he is. He's doing a show.
I know. Look, see, people are, look, Michael, you get on here. People are like, oh, Michael Lathrop, I like Mike. And Jesus, I'm going to bring out the whole Tashlag. Be like Mike. I'm going to be like Mike now. I'm going to try to be classy like Mike. Don't know if that's going to work, but we'll try.
Well, I got lucky. Michael Jordan made everyone like Mike. Even the what was it, the Czech cereal? Mikey likes it. I came out at the right time where Michael Jordan and Mikey likes it. It just, for whatever reason, the name worked. So I thank you, Alan and Darlene, for.
There you go. Thank your mom and dad. There you go. Thank your mom and dad for that. No doubt about it. All right, let's get into it. So we had just mentioned at the top of the show that Lakobe Tucker had just signed with the Atlanta Falcons, and he was a big XFL prospect. A lot of teams were looking at having his services on their squad, but Atlanta came in and scooped him up fairly quickly, man. What does that mean for him and potentially being in the future?
Hold on. Listen, Jersey. You see this comment that Jersey says here? He goes, "We love Mike. That means less talking from Dirty and more intelligent conversation between A-Tran and Mike." And this is getting ridiculous.
Hey,
ridiculous.
Actually, since he mentioned that, since he did that, like boop, just like that, he's gone. You know what I mean? And we can have some meaningful conversation. But he'll be back. Trust me, he'll be popping in very shortly. I already know this. But Mike, what does that mean for Lakobe Tucker popping back in? He's going to be with the Falcons. He signed with the Falcons. Does that mean that there's a chance that he will even be playing in the XFL in the future, or is it strictly just the Falcons?
Well, I mean, kudos to him for using whatever platform and not giving up, right? Even going to showcases, combines, whatever. So kudos to him first and foremost, well-deserved. But what does it mean moving forward? It means he's got a shot at making the NFL, right? Being signed doesn't guarantee him a spot in the 53-man roster. And even though he may or may not make that cut when the regular season starts here in a matter of a couple of weeks, it just means that he might also latch onto a practice squad. So what does that guarantee that the XFL needs to no longer look at him? Well, no. If I'm a team, say my Guardians or whoever, that needs a lot of help, I'd keep him on your list and wait to see what happens, because we know we have a draft coming here this fall for any of these combine players. Any of the players are going to get cut that don't make that 53-man roster and whatnot. So if I'm an XFL team, does it look likely that he may not be there? I mean, it's 50-50. Let's keep it real. I mean, there's how many guys at these NFL camps? All those rosters are inflated that they're playing these preseason games. Well, they're only 3 now, and they'll be chipping away at them. But if he got brought in late, it tells me Mr. Tucker's got a legitimate shot here. Because they're still adding people last minute, means that they see holes in what they have in front of them in Atlanta, and they're looking to make some improvements. So I still say 50-50, but I mean, who knows what that really is?
I'm gonna bring him back in just because I feel like I'm getting pressured. Hey, Kevin, where's Dirty? Bring him back in. So I'm bringing.
I know. And Michael, I mean, you kind of bring up a very good point. As you've been saying that, I've been putting up the stuff from the fans. I mean, look. Here's the thing. In the 2023 draft, right? We didn't see any of those players go from the showcase right to the NFL. even to a practice squad. Lacoby Tucker did it. Like, I was at the St. Louis showcase where Lacoby Tucker was, right? And to watch this dude, it was impressive. The way that this guy just came off the ball or came off the pads and stuff like that, right, was just impressive. I mean, like right here what Jared says, you know, he blew away in most categories at the XFL Combine at his position. You know, I mean, this is what the XFL is all about. I mean, you got Lacoby Tucker, who played JUCO for Garden City Community College. He's playing down in Joplin. He played down in Joplin, Missouri. Came to the showcase, and now he's signed with the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, like you said, and like people are saying, this shows that this is what this league is about, to get people their tape, to get them to that next level. And they're doing it. And I just wish the kid nothing but the best. That's what I wish.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we go any further, I have to say this because I have to step aside. The Bramacita's in the building.
There she is.
Yeah,
So let's look at it this way. You know, as you see right here what Jersey King says right here, it says, if that's the case, then Orlando would probably land him if he doesn't make the roster. Now, here's the question. We know that a lot of the XFL guys that make to the NFL and they get cut, their team still has their rights. Lacoby hasn't signed with the XFL yet,
right.
or that we know of. I mean, you heard my little conspiracy, did you not, Michael? A few weeks back, my conspiracy that the draft has already been made up, players already know where they're going and stuff like that. So let's say that he doesn't make it in the NFL, which I doubt it, but let's just say that he doesn't. I mean, where do you see Lacoby Tucker landing?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball, to be honest with you. I mean, I know I'm usually the one asking people questions, and it's kind of the I gotchas. It's kind of tough, right? I mean, everybody's going to lose their better offensive line or any other key position, right? That's what's happening if anyone's going to the National Football League. So everyone could use offensive line help. And if I'm being honest, the Orlando Guardians need a lot of help right there, because I think a lot of their issues, especially early on, is they didn't protect the quarterback well. And I think that's whether it was not protecting, whether it was false starts, bonehead plays at the worst opportune times for the team, which literally took them out of games. So, I mean, yes, Orlando should be high on a guy like Lacoby, but you know, looking at a piece that just came out from the Orlando Sentinel not that long ago, he looks like he's going to revamp a lot of different things. So, I mean, let's be real. I can't tell you what their priority is going to be. I mean, I could try to read between the lines, you know, just as good as anybody else. But, you know, year one was a learning, you know, experience for a lot of rookie head coaches that didn't do all that well. I mean, Coach Peck was the exception to, you know, what happened with rookie coaches. But, you know, I think to have an understanding of what anybody's really going to do going into year two, it's tough. But you got another rookie head coach out in Vegas. So, you know, I don't know how people are going to prioritize what positions. But, I mean, how many times have we heard all these alt leagues have a difficulty finding offensive linemen? So he has to be, if he is not in the National Football League, Lacoby's got to be a 1-2, no worse than third selection. But here's the other thing. If the draft hasn't been done, even if it has been done, we don't know what format they're going to do. So if they do a similar format like they did in the lead up to 2023, well, we know offensive linemen won't be the first round. So, I mean, it won't even be the first segment where they'll do 7-8 rounds. That would be more of a skilled position. So, I mean, we'd have to see. But, I mean, if they go to a traditional setup, then you'd have to think Lacoby's right there at 1 or 2. He's just, I mean, I know I haven't talked to him like you guys have, but look at anything. He is just a freak of a talent.
I mean, the kid's a freak. The kid's a freak of nature on just how big he is. And I mean, you know, people are just going nuts. Like Rig Rockers right here is saying that, you know, Kobe is the whole side of the line, right? I mean, you know, the Queen says that Tucker has the wingspan of the whole line itself. I mean, like right here, Tucker is a massive human being. Oh, he's definitely going to flourish on the Falcons, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see why he wouldn't make the roster. Atlanta has struggled with O-line. I mean, I watched the quarterback thing on Netflix, and listening to Mariota, Jacoby Tucker would be a great fit for that. And back to what you were saying about the XFL draft, you're right. Yeah, 747 wingspan.
He's long, man. Like, he's
Yeah.
really long, dude. And
I mean, who he reminds me of, Arlington? Orlando Pace.
yeah, that's an
Or
interesting-
Orlando Pace, that once in a generational O lineman. And
I mean, you're getting a little far. Listen. And
well,
I know
hold on. Let's
Michael
go back to what
Vick-
Michael said. Let's go back to what Michael said before you chime in. Let me go back to what Michael said before you chime in, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. Now, Michael, you're talking about if we do stick with the draft that we had for 2023, the O's line guys come up. Whoever is that number one pick when the O line comes up, don't you think that's the guy they're picking first if he's there?
Yeah.
I mean, I am. I don't care what team you are. I'm picking him. I'm picking that guy. I'd be like, this kid destroyed everybody at the stuff. I'm picking that dude.
Yes.
I mean, it's plain and simple. All right, now you chime in what you're gonna say.
Basically, I was like, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Don't get me wrong, Jacoby Tucker is talented, and granted that he is getting a wonderful opportunity, but we just haven't got a chance to see that yet. We need to see it before we sit here and give him that type of ploy, like that he's going to be the next Orlando Pace. Because my thing is, if I got to see it, I just have to see it. I know it. I've seen it from what happened at the combine. I've seen it, but now when you out there on the field, I need to see that he can do it. And I know he's listening. I know he's watching it, and I know that's going to help him get better. That's going to what's the word I'm looking for? I hate when stuff like this escapes me. There's a word for this. Inspire him. It's going to inspire him. Actually, I got the word pretty much. Inspire him to get better. So it's got to be proven.
Okay, but here's what I'm telling you. Listen, here's what I'm telling you.
Dude,
I saw it. I saw this kid live.
I'll let you speak. Thank you. I'll let you speak. You spoke. Stop speaking. Here's the case here, sir. I have to see it. I have to see it on the field, him in pads, him in uniform. That's what I'm looking for. And then he can do the same thing that he did at the combines. Oh, I'm all in. Like I don't want to see any other game for real other than seeing him out there and blocking for whoever quarterback it may be, whether it's Quentin Dormady or Desmond Ridder for the Atlanta Falcons. That's what I'm getting at.
Look, here's what I'm saying. I saw the kid live at the showcase, right?
Yes.
I saw what he did. I literally saw him take another 6'5" dude and literally pick him up off the ground, 2 feet off the ground, and moved him 5 yards back before he set the dude down. That's all I'm saying. I saw the dude. I saw the explosiveness of him. I'm just happy. Look, here's why I love the XFL. And it's for the simple fact is this is giving these opportunities to guys like him that didn't play at a major university. It's given him the chance to get more tape and to get seen. And that's what it's doing. And plus, this is like a family. It's like a family, this whole entire XFL. It's amazing, and I love it. Like right here, Michael, quality O-line depth at the NFL level is hard as hell to come by, let alone with an alt league. Look at the CFL. Almost every top 5 pick in each year's draft is an O-line. Really, what more can you say? I mean, it's the truth,
And here's a place where that can be, that he could get his skill set, make his skill set, make another video, get his tape. That's what the biggest thing, the tapes. Get the tape out there because that's what they did in season 1 for most of these guys.
All right, now here. Okay, look, I'm gonna turn it to you guys because I'll go last on this one. But Scott wants to know the issue will he get enough reps in the NFL preseason? Arlington, you go. What do you think? Do you think he will get enough reps in the NFL preseason?
Considering that are we really just now getting into the first week of preseason? Because I know that was just the one game and stuff. So, and there's only 3 weeks.
Well, technically it starts this week.
Okay.
So preseason starts on the 10th. So it starts Thursday.
Reps. Like if he doesn't get it in the first half, he surely will get it in the second half.
Okay.
You know? The Falcons brought him in hopefully
for a reason.
Not because he's just a body. They saw him and they want to see what he can do. So I think he'll get reps.
All right, Michael, what do you think?
Man, 1 week with a playbook and those guys, that's a lot asking for him getting reps in the first preseason game. Puts him in a real tough spot. Not an opportunity that obviously he wants to pass up on, but let's be realistic. When cuts are going to happen right along, there's no guarantee that anybody stays on a team until the third game or through the third game. So he's in a tough spot with the first one. If they give him a little more leeway, you know, and have an understanding that he's only been with the team for a week, but the NFL is a business. And this is why I say he's got a 50-50 chance. Talent is part of it, but here's the other part. He's got to get acclimated really quick with this team and show something in the preseason that is not other than just picking a guy up and moving him 5 yards, because you got to be a cohesive unit. It's not just about being a strong guy moving a guy forward. If all of a sudden you create a hole in the offensive line now by being too gun-ho going forward, and I'm not saying Lacobe's going to make that mistake, but not having time to acclimate and kind of work with this team, I'm just saying I'm a little leery, right? There's no guarantee that he's going to get all the reps. And if anything, I'd rather them not give him as many in week one so he's got more time to acclimate himself to this team and to their schemes. That would give him a better shot. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It just seems like if they give him a lot, we know they're not playing their starters. So if anything, he's probably going to get thrown into the mix really quick. So best of luck to him.
Now, here's what I'll say again. Like I said, I saw the kid play, Scott. I saw the guy at the combine. I saw how he did. But here's the other thing that you guys keep forgetting. He's going to be getting reps during the week and practicing, right? So he's also going to get those reps, those times to actually learn and stuff like that. So I think by at least week 2, I understand that he's coming in with just a few days before the playbook, right? I get it, but like here he goes, let's don't forget that Lacobe Tucker, he has a very high football IQ, and he can fit that playbook down by the end of the season. But we're not talking about the end of the season, we're just talking about preseason. I think, if anything, if he shows the presence and the talents, I think he could be a backup, like right here what Chris says, that he could develop on the practice squad. I have a feeling he's going to get the reps because they let him sign that contract. We don't know what's in that contract at all, but I just have a feeling he is going to get the reps that he needs because of what's going to happen throughout the week leading up to the preseason games. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right.
But
so
I like all 3 of our opinions.
Yeah, and that's basically what they are. Just great. We got Michael Lathrop here from Player 54 podcast joining us on this edition of X-Fan Show, sponsored by Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company. Don't forget, September 9th, Autism Speaks Fan Appreciation Night, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We got music by our good friend.
Speaking of that, right there, Big Papa G.
The one and only Papa G himself. Yes. And as he just popped in right there. So make sure that you get your tickets. $10. Go to our X-Fan page on Facebook and use the QR code to get your tickets today. All right. As we've seen Big Papa G, that was a question I just seen. That was it.
I put it back up.
Think of the NFL changing of the kickoff rule. We had already a notion about this. There was one particular tweet I see. It happened about 3 years ago. 2 years ago, saying that basically the NFL was going to start taking the XFL stuff and utilizing it because of the partnership that they have. A lot of the rules, I believe, were going to start being implemented with the NFL. And having the kickoff rule would actually be perfect for the NFL. I hate it, but
Oh my God!
you already know how I felt about this, man.
Listen,
You
Michael.
already know how I feel.
All right,
about it.
let's ask Michael what he thinks.
I'm not
We
gonna get
knew.
into it.
All right, go on, Michael. What do you think of if the NFL wants to change to the kickoff rule?
Well, it doesn't matter if it's just the kickoff rule. We knew something was going to happen at some point, at least consideration. Because of this partnership, whatever you want to call it, we always know that the league's always been a league of innovation, and eventually the NFL has always had eyes on it, whether it had an official partnership or not with the XFL. So we knew that at some point they were going to sit down, the owners were going to consider things. But here's the thing with this kickoff. And I mean, I don't know how many people are aware of this, but when it comes to insurance, leagues, it doesn't matter what level you are, high school, college, professional, there's not a lot of insurance companies anymore that will insure football. There's actually less than a handful of them. So when you're doing this and the cost of insurance keeps going up, is this a move the NFL wants to make themselves? I don't know. Is it a move that maybe the insurance companies are interested in? Probably more than likely, right? Let's keep it real. Everything's a business. And what have we seen with the history of concussions and whatnot? And what is a big thing about this kickoff is to reduce those hard-hitting, massive injuries that come from a thing like the kickoff. So, is this surprising? No. Does it get implemented? Maybe not, obviously, this year, because it's already been determined. But they might be moving to 2024. It might be on the table. Seriously consider, not just because of a partnership, but because of insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes it, that's a good point. And you know what? I will back off, Dirty.
Now, look, here's the thing we knew about the XFL. When the XFL, and Arlington, if you remember, way back in the day, we saw The Rock on the plane, right? And what did I say, Arlington? I go, that is the NFL shield underneath the XFL thing.
Yeah.
I said that. People said I was nuts. People said I was crazy. They said you're a conspiracy theory. You're like Stugatz. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And who was right? Who was right? This guy. This guy right here was right. That the XFL and the NFL was going to partner up. Now, look, here's what it is. They're going to use that XFL. They had said that, they wanted to use the XFL as a petri dish, right? Like right here, like what Scott says right here. Plus the 4th and 15 idea, instead of going on sides, will also bring excitement and reduce injuries. Hell yes, it will. Hell yes, it will, right? See, like right here, what XFL and the NFL are in bed together. Dirty was right.
You're giving them too much credit, Jared. Too much credit.
But anyways, I think it would be a great idea. I would love to see. Your nuts are crazy, but right. Yes, it is. I would love to see it, and I think it would. Would it bring the excitement back to the kickoff? Hell yes, it would. Hell yes, it would. I get it. I've sold health insurance. I know how it is. Companies don't want to. It's very hard to insure a sport like football. Like Michael said, there's only a handful. That's why you look in the NFL, where's their main headquarters at?
New York.
New York has a very loose health insurance model to boot. Where's the XFL headquarters at?
Texas.
Very loose insurance, workers' comp. So if you notice, they put all of their headquarters, they put the headquarters in places where they can get insurance at a cheaper rate. Now, I just think it would be stupid if they don't do it. I want to see the NFL do it. That's all I'm saying.
See comments like these right here, what Jersey said, makes me want to go off again. I want to so bad, but I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I want to so bad because you already know how I felt about the XFL being its own standalone. But of course, with what the NFL has done, and they, the XFL is working with it. That's the only way this thing is going to actually flourish, is them working side by side.
Mm-hmm.
It drives me crazy that I had to say that, but that's the thing. Exactly, that's right. Major League Baseball had used minor league baseball concepts for its league. So yeah, I get it. I get it, guys. I get it, y'all. I get it. but it's
It's
just
about synergy, right? You kind of need it between all the sports because, I mean, I don't want to take it on a tangent here away from what we're talking about, but the reality is we have fans that give credit to one league and not another league for whatever reason. All right. And I understand there's differences, and maybe differences is what kind of keeps innovation alive, not just because the XFL is innovative, but having differences kind of does it. But when something is successful one place, you would be foolish not to replicate that in your own league and take advantage of that. Regardless of who wants to be naysayers one way or another, the XFL came up with a heck of a kickoff. Right? Heck of it. It does. It's safer. It still keeps the kickoff in the game when there was other leagues, AAF, that didn't want to kick off. Okay. And I'm not trying to be funny. I know, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, do we want to reinvent all of football? Are we going to take away all of kicking? Are we going to take, I mean, come on. Could you imagine if they say the punt is too dangerous because it hangs too much that people are getting, do you want football to get stripped, people? No, but we're in a time where we do need to change it. The XFL had created something that clearly is working, and obviously people are taking notice. It'd be like, hey, we want football to be football. We don't want it to be the AAF or, hey, we're just going to start the ball on some freaking, line. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just people, if we're not careful, that's where we end up. So is the NFL stealing it? No, because there's a partnership now where, hey, the XFL is like, hey, if you like what you want, please take it. But in return, they're getting help with officiating and stuff like that. The partnership works both ways, people.
You're welcome, Eric. I told you I'd rock your shirt on the show tonight. Go to what is it called? Underdog Training. Underdog Training. I told you I'd rock your shirt tonight.
You're wearing? Hey, that's
my
so
belly. My belly is stretched out. The bottom part, it's really big. So, hey, but listen, I'm a fat bastard. And this is a 1X, and it fits my 2X, and it's still pretty loose. It feels good.
All right.
Yeah, hit up Eric Hansen if you want your shirt.
This is the X-Fan Show. We got Michael Lathrop from Player 54 Podcast joining us this evening. And we've been talking a bit about, I know a lot of people's like, well, I never thought I'd be listening to insurance. It's a part of player safety. And that was the main thing. That was the main thing that the XFL wanted when it started back in when they got back in 2020. 2001, we all know they didn't care about no damn player safety.
No.
They was all about hard hits. As you can see the sign behind Mike, that was supposed to be extreme. And then when they got to 2020, it was about cleaning up the game. It was about bringing the game back to fans. And that was a little small thing that I wanted Danny and Rock to do that, but they, this is their league now, and so they're going to run it the way they feel like it's going to be. And they've done a portion of that, saying they're giving it back to fans, but also they want to make sure that the guys that are playing the game in front of these fans are getting as great opportunity to get to the next level, and that's what they're pushing. So,
right. Now let's not forget what Michael said about the punt, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, when they punt the ball, right? When they punt the ball, they can't move until the player catches the ball, right?
Right.
On the punt. That's right. I'm right?
When the ball is touched, touched, they can move.
So right there, again, you're taking out the safety, you're taking out the concussion concerns and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
At least you're reducing it.
You're reducing it. I mean, it's like, Michael, it's like you said. Right here. The XFL is the safer league. Wow. We're just reducing injuries to players. I mean, how many?
This way.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm cutting you off, in my apologies.
No, you're good.
Imagine the NFL never having Devin Hester. Just imagine that right now for a second, folks. All the people that want to talk, safety, insurance. Okay, listen, it's not sexy. It's not exciting to talk about. But could you imagine that the game ends up someplace where the only way to get insurance is now you can't have kickoffs, you can't have punts? Could you imagine a point that we never knew of Devin Hester and what excitement he brought to the league? Now, I understand it was under some different rules, but if you remove the kickoff and do what the AAF did, if you ultimately end up losing the punt, then what good is it? I mean, football's not football anymore, right? You have to find a way to still keep football, but you also have to adapt with the times. Change and evolution is inevitable, people. Whether you like it or not, you have to move with the times. This is not 1970 anymore. It's not 1980. It is 2023, and we're moving towards 2024 season. I'm sorry, folks. It's just what it is. It's whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, like right here, no Dante Hall.
Yeah, and it's about innovating. It is about making the game better. And one thing that we have seen from the XFL is, at least from even 2020 standards, was how do we make the game better than it once was? And
I mean, I'll be honest. Let me ask you guys this. Right?
Okay.
I thought the 2023 version of the XFL, now minus a few things that could have been differently, right? Minus a few things that could have been differently, right? But I thought the 2023 XFL, I thought the gameplay was better than it was in 2020. That's my opinion. So, I mean, Arlington, you think so too? Michael's down here scoffing at us.
The reason why I say that is because we got a chance to get a full season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the games were really competitive.
Okay.
Like, everybody was on the same level. Everybody wanted a chance to win. Didn't matter how it was going to go down. I think about 80%. We say on the show often, over 80% of the games by one score. So, and with 2020, while it was great football, a lot of the games seemed like they were runaways, and then there were some close ones. It was just 5 weeks. I know it's kind of unfair to say that because you can't truly match up what happened, but just by what we saw. And I think that the gameplay moved a little bit quicker with 2023 than it was 2020.
Okay.
I know it's unfair to say that, but that's how I just feel about it at this moment.
Now, Michael, you scoffed. You scoffed at it, so please elaborate.
5 games for each team is a very small sample size. And what do we know to be a fact? You know, I'm talking to Tom Luganbill and some guys that coached in 1.0, and every time they talk about it's a very short camp. It takes a long time to build chemistry in a cohesive unit and for people to finally be on the same page. He goes, so week 1s and 2s are typically not going to go well. Well, when you finally get into 3, 4, and 5, just when they're starting to hit their stride, the league got its legs taken out from underneath it.
That's true.
All right, so could you imagine if this season was cut at the halfway point here in 2023? Nobody would have ever thought the Guardians were even competitive. They would have thought they were complete trash. And look at what the second half of that season allowed us to see differently from the Guardians. Because had we seen it that way, very similar to 2020, we'd have a completely different lookout as the league, because there weren't a lot of teams that did that well. The team that won the championship obviously was a losing record team going into the postseason, right? So let's just kind of look at, we got to see it all play out, and where, okay, teams had a chance to fix their mistakes or improve and be more competitive and stuff. So it made for better games. So are you right as a totality? Yeah. But is it fair? It says no, because they didn't get their full stride in 2020.
Yeah, okay. You got, yeah. I might change mine.
That's why I said it really wasn't fair, because it was just a 5-week season.
And that's why on the X Fan Show we actually bring people who actually have class, because I have none. Arlington has very little, and Michael has a lot of class. So that's why we bring Michael on the show.
You're so evil. You're so evil right now, man. So evil. But it's fun. But see, that's the fun thing about this show, is that we like to delve into what fans want to see in their game. This is, of course, a lot of people are not going to be happy with what goes on. But hey, it is what it is, and we're getting an opportunity to see it full frontal. And the league is quiet as kept. They're listening.
That is true. The league is growing a lot. Now, listen.
Don't say too much, sir. Don't say too much. Oh, and so I want to piggyback off of her statement. The hyena. There, I did it. I did it just for you. So just to be
See,
sure.
look again. Somebody's saying I'm always right, as always.
I hate. You know what? I don't know. I don't like y'all. I really don't like y'all. I don't.
But no, as you say, the league is growing. All right. Okay. So we do have an announcement.
We do have
announcement.
Yeah, of course.
Read it. Are you? This is ridiculous.
It's more comments keep popping up.
No, they just keep coming. All right, here. Look here. Let's go with Will. Will's got, hey, Mike, we know that the Orlando Guardians are going to have a mini camp next month. Would you hope they have the mini camp there in Orlando?
Only if it's open for people to attend to see. Otherwise, I mean, does it make any sense? I mean, just to have it there, just to say it's there and spend the money in hotels here when they already have better rates figured out in their headquarters. So, I mean, like, if they're going to open up to fans and actually do something and make sure it's out there so that people are aware and put it at a time that people can attend it. Again, I could get into the whole I-4 and people traveling like myself now from Punta Gorda. That's a hike. I mean, so it only if they do it and it makes sense. So, I mean, not to sound like a broken record, but I mean, it really depends.
Hold on. Before I get to that next question. Wait, Chris goes definitely. Amanda classes up this show on Wednesdays. Are you kidding me? Jesus. All right, here we go. Hold on. No, I like this. The one I was going to. I like it. Let me ask you guys, right? So what is the XFL's main target for getting players? Mid-tier Power Fives, groups of fives, FCC, HBCU, CSFL, NFL cuts, or other groups. Obviously, they want the best players, but is there a certain pool from where it looks like they're pulling from? I'll go first. To me, it looks like they are targeting the mid-tier schools, right? NFL cuts, the HBCUs. It looks like, like right here what Turner says, the FCS D1s and D2s.
D2s and D3. Think, look at the thing, boy.
Dick 3, the 3Ds, okay, whatever. I think that's what the XFL, I think that is smart for the XFL to go that route and to get those players, let them develop, build your league up. What do you guys think on that one?
Go ahead, Mike.
Number one, in my opinion, is NFL cuts. And I'll double down on why. So obviously the XFL and IFL combine, or the IFL to XFL combine, was just held on August 4th. There were very few XFL staff members in attendance for it. Supposedly one representative from each team. Now, I can't say I wasn't there. But what do I do know? David Dykman was at the LA Chargers camp. And so weren't a lot of the guys attending a lot of NFL camps. So if your head coaches, if your top directors of personnel and whatnot are in NFL camps, that's your number one focus. Okay. Doesn't mean they're not focused elsewhere and doing whatever work they got to do at the bowl games, the senior bowl games and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know if they're combing a bunch of D2 and D3 schools. I think they're paying attention to the guys that are coming out and what film they can get and on turning every stone. But I think their focus is on what are those guys that are getting a taste of the NFL coaching that are just, got some name recognition. You got to keep in mind, new leagues, that they need that. It can't have everybody that's not known. So, I mean, yeah, D2, D3 guys, and the IA guys are going to get a look, but their main focus is the NFL cuts.
Arlington?
I'm thinking it's similar to what Mike's saying. It's those that are overlooked, the ones that don't get value. The NFL doesn't believe has any value for their team. That is, coaches that overlook players and stuff. I think it's those that they want, and it really belongs to like what Mike Tackett, the comment, was saying, the best available. Because they want to make sure that tier, that level, can get an opportunity to get back into the league. And if not, you have a guy like, and I'm not saying that this is what's going to end up happening, but you have a guy like AJ McCarron that wants to play, and he wants an opportunity to, let his kids see what's going on. That type of situation where I want people to see me. I want to showcase my talent where I can be seen, not sitting back. You get the opportunity, and I'm going to go back to that, sitting there holding a clipboard or sitting there just waiting. How they have the hands on the pads and stuff, just waiting. Like, you can go ahead and play now instead of having to wait. And then you stack up your tapes, your resume, and you might get a better chance at getting more movement. So I think it's overlooked players that they want to look at.
Right. Yeah. All right. Now here I have another one. I was just going through as you guys were talking about that. I do like this one. Speaking of 2020, but still a random question. Do you guys think we will ever see the return of the 2.0 schedule format where teams play all 7 teams and then play the 3 in their division at the end of the season? From what I understand, Arlington, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong or not, I think the reason why we saw the schedule the way we saw it was because of scheduling conflicts in certain cities. Is why that's the way the schedule was done the way it was this year.
Again, this was about getting the season off the ground, whatever way possible. They wanted to make sure that there was 10 weeks of a season. So they had some bumps in the road, and so what wound up happening, like for instance, the Battlehawks case, they had 3 home games to close out the year. So that was in DC. If you really paid attention to the DC Defenders, they had all Sunday home games. That was spoken by the mayor of the XFL, Van Hurt. So that lets you know they were having some trouble. But what the thing is, it was about trusting the XFL again. That was the big issue here. It was about making sure that the XFL can be trusted. And with the games that they had, you can talk about the viewership if you want. They were solid according to their standards. So there's an opportunity where it may open up better for them for 2024. Granted, right now, the big thing right now going on is in Houston.
Yep.
That's where the problem lies. Like, where are they going to play? But even with that said, that's been trusted upon that they can use venues and say, hey, we'll schedule dates for you because it actually worked out, especially for DC. That beer smack, do you really think they want to pass that up again in 2024?
Hell no.
You think they're going to do anything where it's going to cause harm? Say, hey.
But, I mean, Arlington, you went on this tirade. I guess the question is do you want to see them go back to the 2020 schedule format?
Schedule games the way that you need to schedule them. As long as you have 2 division games and 1 opponent against you have the 1 game against the opposite division, you're fine. Okay.
Mike, do you want to go back to the 2020? Or, I mean, because you know what the reason why the schedule was the way it is for the 2023 season. And, the one thing you didn't bring in, Arlington, was Seattle had Thursday games.
Correct.
So, I mean, and as Jared says right here, that the MLS has a priority on some fields. So do you want to see the XFL go back to the schedule from the 2.0, or do you just, like Arlington, just keep it the way it is?
I don't think they have a choice right now to leave it as is. There's too many issues, and I think Arlington's right. The game just had to be played. You got to take what dates are available. We know there's a situation in Houston, all right? They may not be able to play at their venue. They might be looking for another venue. For whatever reason in Vegas, they have only continued to take deposits. They're not securing seats for any additional season ticket holders, okay? We know that there's a looming potential situation here with Camping World Stadium in Orlando because they're getting closer and closer to this funding for a new roof and renovation to seats and a potential new field house that's going to be used as a convention center added to the stadium. People, there's a lot of moving pieces here that doesn't even matter what you want. It's what can you have moving forward. So let's pump the brakes. Let's get through years 2 and 3 before we start presenting a wish list.
Right, and quit and pump the brakes on expansion. Idiots. Let's get through five years of football before we even talk about expansion. Idiots. Pump the brakes on that shit too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Listen,
shut up.
No, I have to utilize this. I wish the XFL, and I'm talking about the brass, looked at David Dixon's plan for the USFL in 1982. I got a chance to look at it a bit, and the thing was, it was about they were going to lose money. So they kind of used some of that in this realm. They said, okay, everything is going to be us. It's going to be we're not going to have owners. of the teams just yet. We're going to own all the teams. So we cut expenses that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to lose money on the TV contract in the first year or two. Okay, cool. So that's why everybody keeps talking about this $60 million expense that they lost money. No, they had to spend money to make money. You got to spend money to make money. So at this rate, they kind of use it. Like, now that I think about it, they kind of using some of that, and building within it. Now you have to make sure marketing is taken care of. The merchandise is taken care of. You saw what happened in season 1. All right. Like I said, the main thing about the XFL 2023 was getting the season out there.
Oh, I guess our man Lacoby Tucker's in the house, because it seems like I see everybody's chiming in saying congratulations to Lacoby. Lacoby Tucker's in the house. Lacoby Truckum. Lacoby Tucker. So, hey, Lacoby, what's up, bro? You would just spent the whole first 20 minutes of the show singing your praises. But, here, I do want to ask you guys this, because, this is the X-Fan show. We are a legion. We have built Arlington for the past 4 years. We have built this legion up, and it says right here, as this league grows and expands, the focus will change more to development and building a team where you might be holding on to more and more players.
That is my dream.
Speaking of that, I think it's a great thing, and I hope they can hold on to more players is what I'm saying. And I want that first player to, as much as I'm not a fan of AJ McCarron, I want AJ McCarron to be that first $1 million guy in the XFL. And as of right now, other than AJ, I'm going to ask you guys, other than AJ, who is the other player that you would dump a bunch of money to keep in the XFL? Can you guys name another player? Okay, Arlington, you said you can?
I can name a couple.
All right, go.
Josh Gordon is one.
Oh, well, Gordon ain't leaving. Gordon ain't leaving.
Huh? No, I'm saying
Gordon.
That's what I would dump $1 million into.
Okay.
Vic Beasley, I would drop $1 million on if I had the opportunity to give it to him. If he stayed, we got signed with the Jets, the Defensive Player of the Year. My man Peter,
yeah, okay.
Peter Tomapino. I'd have dumped $1 million in him. Jordan Teamu, I would have dumped $1 million into.
Okay.
So
well,
yeah,
shit.
there's several players I will do that with.
But I'm talking about guys that are in the league now.
To the XFL, they might be back. They might.
Okay.
Yes, I like that one. Yes, indeed.
Jay Peasy?
Yes.
All right, Michael. If there's a player in the XFL now that you don't want to leave.
This is going to sound harsh. You got to let whoever go. For $1 million, it's not worth it in the startup phase.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's not worth it in years 1, 2, and 3. No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
okay.
Because let me just say, is $1 million going to stop anybody from going back to the NFL, especially if you're a quarterback? No, not at all.
Yeah.
So do you want to give it to Josh Gordon stuff? Okay, yeah, there's guys that could help build some recognition, but is it really worth $1 million to one player? One person's not going to make or break this league. I really don't think so. So it's not going to be a popular opinion. I don't think in these first 3 years anybody's worth $1 million. You got to get the books right first.
Absolutely.
Well, Mike, Mike, that's why you have class, but you didn't answer the question, Michael. You didn't answer the question.
So who would it be if I had?
Who would it be? That was the question. Who would it be?
Oh man, I guess if you could put in one guy and that's going to seriously be like the face and go around, yeah, it probably has to be McCarron. It probably has to be because he was at a showcase. He'll kind of do more appearances. Whoever you invested in would have to be literally doing way more than they're doing right now.
Right, yeah. And now speaking of that, because that's the reason why I brought this up, the Legion, the XFL keeps growing, and the Legion keeps growing, Arlington.
Yes.
The Legion is feeling a little bit green. I'm feeling a little bit bloated because I just had a 16-ounce Kansas City strip steak at Hamilton's here in St. Louis. Oh my God, it was the best thing in the world. If you're in St. Louis, Michael, when you come to St. Louis, I'm gonna take you over to Hamilton's. It's really, really good. Really, really good place. You won't be feeling green like the Legion is feeling. And should we say why the Legion is feeling green? Who wants to announce it?
Can he say it?
I'll go. Yeah. So on September 12th, there is a collaboration between Jared, Saul, and Deuce and myself will be launching the Neon Green Mafia.
There it is. Congratulations, gentlemen. Welcome aboard. See, there it is.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. It takes a little bit of time to get things figured out, schedules and stuff. So yeah, we're pretty excited to launch this. The goal is to go weekly every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we'll have to see how the longevity goes.
Trust me, listen, we tried our best not to go against y'all, okay? So we go move it back to the mornings if I have to. I don't want to do that. I'm making sure this thing grows, but guess what? You'll always get an opportunity to go back and watch. So that's the main thing, and that's cool about what we do with the Legion. So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And Jared and Deuce and Sal.
You know what might be funny is what time are you guys going to go live, Michael?
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The same.
So that's 7 o'clock. Oh shit. So maybe Arlington, if we want to keep the Tuesday night show, we just go to 8 o'clock, and then they just segue right into us.
You know what I'm
into
saying?
The craziness of the X-Fan show.
Well, I'm not trying to make your guys' lives any more difficult. It just took us a while to figure out how we were going to make it work and not, bump elbows with the horns forward and, in the other shows. So we were trying to, but then, yeah, you guys pushing it to the evenings kind of put another twist into it.
Now we'll get it. We'll get it. No, and this is what's so good about this. It doesn't matter what time shows are on because your show is going to be primarily about the Orlando Guardians.
Correct.
Right? Our show is about the entire league. Right. So see, there you go. Oh shit. Now here comes the XFL getting us. Jesus Christ. Great. Here we go. But no, so it doesn't matter. But listen, go and check out there. You'll be able to find them on the X-Fan show page. Oh, here we go. Look.
Oh, hey, I'm all for it. I'm for real. I really am all for it.
Yes, Jersey. There is finally going to be a show on the Guardians. Yes.
Hey, and I just don't want any. I don't need all that. All that.
Right, and I've been beating on this guy right below me, Michael Lathrop, to do it for a while, and so I'm assuming he's finally figured it out, right, Michael? Finally.
We hope so. We think the people that we have working on this collaboration have the skills to make sure that we can go live and make this happen. But what is really interesting about it is that these are fans, right? And I know people may question if I'm too uptight, too buttoned up but I'm as committed as anybody else to make the drive 2.5, 3 hours, and have season tickets. I could easily have press credentials as well and be in the box, but my wife and I make the trip, and we made sure it's going to be a different aspect. And like Jared's going to be making trips from Fort Myers, which these are long drives. And then, Deuce and Saul are not right in Orlando. This will show how far the tentacles of the Orlando Guardians have reached and how important it is for people to make the trips for these games. So we're going to have different perspectives. It's not like somebody's just an Orlando homebody, and we'll obviously welcome those people in as well, but it's going to be fans. And whether they have their own shows, whether they're new to it, whether they've been into other content creation, we're going to bring, a different, like Saul is a high school football coach, people. We're going to have somebody that knows X's and O's, but he's a fan. He's a season ticket holder. And, we are all a little bit different. I'm a podcaster, so maybe I'm a little bit more, in tuned into everything that's going on with the league because that's what I do. I dive into it a little bit different. So we're going to have maybe a little bit more seriousness, maybe a little bit more from the coach, maybe, peer fans, but it's going to be a fan show.
And what was your tagline you guys were going to use there, Mike?
Well,
if I remember, I talked to you. What was the tagline going to be?
For fans by fans. I
wonder where you guys heard that one at. Wonder where you heard that one. No, it's all good.
Hey, guess what? I don't mind it. Let's go.
I don't care because that's what this is about. And as you've seen, I mean, me and Arlington had talked earlier today about things we were going to do. And as you see, Michael, what happened to our show? It completely got taken over by the fans because that's what it's about. It's the fans dictate this show. We have something we want to talk about, but then these crazy bastards get on here and start chiming in. And then so that's what it was. So that's what it is. So, I mean, that's what this Legion is about. The X-Fan Legion is, for the fans, by the fans. Exactly. But that's just not us. That's this entire Legion that we've grown. This is for the fans. And we just want to give you guys something. What is this? We ooze neon green slogan, LOL. If you guys turn into Ninja Turtles, I'm freaking out.
No. I thought that was slime. You know, Nickelodeon was big in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta bleed green. You gotta bleed green. That's what we're gonna do. Embrace the neon. At this point, we don't know what our logo really is, right? It's a reused logo, and we're like, okay, is that supposed to be a panther? Is that supposed to be? How's it tied to Florida? At this point, you know, if Mafia means family, it's time to build the neon green family, and we're gonna bleed green, embrace the neon. So that's what this is all about.
I like that, Michael. I like that one. Embrace the neon. I like that one. Jared's a pervert. Slime me is the new.
Slime is about the slime itself, you idiot.
Yeah, I'm just saying right here. Look, bleed green. I love it.
You were a kid once. Get out of here, man. So you were a kid once.
I think I still am.
The NFL is even into having games. The Super Bowl is going to be on the
right. Yeah, look, Nickelodeon. That's the Super Bowl I'm going to watch this year is Nickelodeon.
That's right. They sure did. They did.
I want to watch Nate Burleson. I like this one. Embrace the neon. I love it.
Shout out to that
but Michael, because we're in overtime, right? Yeah, Michael. But if you guys turn into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? I am going to be a little scared. I am going to be a little scared of you.
So I need to return my Halloween costume to Amazon.
Oh shit!
I'm kidding.
Oh shit! Oh, here goes Jack. Look at Jackie says nothing beats horns forward.
Is the reason Nickelodeon doing the game because CBS is doing the Super Bowl this year?
Could be.
Yes, that's the reason. CBS is doing the
right,
game.
Exactly.
I'm not listening to Tony and freaking Jim Nance. I'll listen
I'm
to
not
Nate
either.
Shout out to Noah Eagle. Shout out to Noah Eagle and I can't think of her name. Gabrielle Green, I think, who did the show.
I'm gonna throw up. Look, the hyena says no. Man. Don't return it, Michael. Don't return it.
Anyway,
I do like this one. Bleed green and embrace the neon. I do like that. That does sound good. I do like that, but I don't care. But look, this is what this is about. The Legion is for the fans, by the fans. Everything that me and Arlington do is dictated by by the fans. And so we reached out to these other cities, which for guys like Michael and Jared and them, to get them on board, to help us spread and to help them get more people. It's about growing this league.
We got three more cities to go.
That's right. The more this league grows, the better it is for all of the fans. Yes, exactly. The league is built by fans. Only in certain cities, Jackie. Only in certain cities.
So stupid.
Only in certain cities.
Before you go, Michael, tell everyone where they can find you on social media and please plug your show.
Yes, please.
So Player 54, we're obviously on Twitter or the X, whatever you want to call it these days, at Player 54 Podcast. Instagram at Player 54 Podcast. Same with Threads these days. Facebook, just look up Player 54 Podcast. But we'll plug the news show because we could use the followers and word help getting it out for that September 12th launch. We on Facebook are Neon Green Mafia. Instagram, it's neon.green.mafia, and Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, Neon Green Mafia.
Sweet. And we can't wait to see it when it starts at September 12th, correct?
Correct.
All right.
I'm sweating my fat ass off in my studio.
Hey, get the music, dude. Let's get out of here, man.
What's the music? I don't know what the music is. What music? I got it. What? See, Michael, please tell me you're going to be more classy than us.
Well, we hope to be. We hope to be.
Wow. Really? Wow, Michael. Is that what you said? Why are we picking that one?
Because
See, this is the problem. Is nobody knows which one to pick and who to do what. Hey, this is the XFL show. September 9th, we have the big event, Wild Sun Winery and Brewery. Go to the flyer, scan the QR code. That'll send you all the information that you need. Welcome to the, what is it called again? I already forgot the name of the new show. I'm an idiot.
Neon Green Mafia.
That's it, the Neon Green Mafia. I'm going to get that tattoo. There it is. I'm going to get that tattoo. Arlington, you got anything else to say? Oh, this Thursday, the Fang Gang, 4 o'clock Central Time. The Hyena and Daddy Ed.
Thanks to Michael. Thank you, man, for joining us. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hey,
Michael, you got anything else to say?
Hey, 200 shave your head, 300 shave the goatee.
Yes!
You should see my face right now. But Arlington, I know, because Arlington kept the dumb graphic up. Yeah, no, not happening. We're out of here.